Before any experiment, go to the closet and pick out an appropriate lab coat. For health purposes, as well as for the maintenance of the sensitive diodes on the fNIRS machine, be sure to wash your hands thoroughly with warm water and soap before handling any equipment or participant. Before the participant arrives, prepare the experimenting room. First, turn on the Dell desktop and screen. Then turn on the Dell laptop, and finally turn on the video camera. Open the black curtains to reveal the fNIRS machine. Spread them wide as you'll need a lot of space during the setup period. Below the keyboard and to the left, you will find one green and one yellow button. Press them both. Only the green button will light up. A black Windows loading screen will appear, followed by the topography screen and a Windows login screen. Enter the password and press OK. The fNIRS software will automatically load once you have logged in. Several seconds after loading, you should notice that the laser off circle in the bottom right corner has turned green. Greet the participant in a warm and kind manner. If they are unfamiliar with the campus, meet them where they have parked or at their bus stop. Guide them to the lab, always remembering to be courteous. Offer them a seat on the couch and begin to explain what they are here for. First of all, be sure to thank them for volunteering their time to help the study. Then let them know that the lab is under the direction of Dr. Laura Ann Petito, and that the lab aims to study how children learn language and reading on the genetic, neurological, and behavioral scales. Describe the specifics of the study you're going to run that day. Explain how the fNIRS machine works, that video will be collected, and that a cheek swab will be performed for genetic analysis. Reassure the participant in the safety of the machine, the lack of any risk, and the confidentiality of all personal data. Be sure to ask them if they have any remaining questions. Give the participant the appropriate sheets and consent forms to complete. Give them enough time to read it thoroughly and sign it. If there are any questionnaires associated with this participant, you may administer them now. In the meantime, you can begin to fill in the participant sheet with all the required demographic information. You can ask the participant for all the information there except for ethnicity. If you're unsure, leave that section blank. Lead the participant to the testing room and seat them in front of the monitor. Using a measuring tape, measure from the Nasian to the Inian around the head, Nasian to Inian over the head, and ear to ear over the head. Here are some close-up shots. Calculate the F7 and F8 using 30% of the Bayesian to Indian around. Then calculate the T3 and T4 using 10% of the ear to ear over top. Place a piece of medical tape with an X marked on it on the forehead of the participant at the FP position, which is 10% of the Bayesian to Indian over top distance above the Bayesian. Make sure it's aligned in the center of the head before you continue. Place the headband on the participant's head. Tighten it using the straps. Then use the calculated F7 and F8, as well as T3 and T4 numbers, to ensure that the headband is accurately placed on the participant's head. Finally, secure the headband with bobby pins. For the polymus to run, there must be junk data on the system. You can either collect junk data on the current participant, or the more efficient way is simply to load junk data from a previous participant. Align the top of the polymus box with the top surface of the participant's head. Make sure that the polymus box and its cord form a straight line with the sensor on the back of the participant's head. Before running the polymus, click on Operation and make sure that Measurement and Event are checked. You will also want to click on Parameter Set, and in the Name pull-down bar, make sure that Kaya Syntax Phoneme Deletion is selected. On the top left-hand corner, you'd fill in the participant ID, the name of the study, the age and gender of the individual, as well as the specific task being done. Next, click Utility, then 3D Topo, then 3D Space. Before recording the polymus, ask the participant to remain extremely still. You can then follow the on-screen instructions, pressing the green buttons as they come up. You will then follow the on-screen map, putting the polymus mast in each one of the probe circles. For adult probe set 1, start from the top left towards the right, row by row downwards. For probe set 2, start from the bottom right towards the left, row by row upwards. Make sure not to move or tilt the participant's head while using the polymus pen. To check the 3D picture, click on the Operations button and change from Management to Analysis. Then click on Utility, 3D Topo, and 3D Frame. Make sure the picture looks appropriate before continuing with the experiment. You may now proceed to place the red and blue probes. Remember to part the hair before inserting the probes in order to get a clear signal. Clear the participant's surroundings to ensure that there are no distractions. On the whiteboard, include the participant ID, name of the study, and the word before. Take pictures of the participant along with the board on the left, right, top, and front. For the left and right side, use the earlobe as a landmark point of where you should put the board. For the front, use the chin as your landmark point. And for the top, use the forehead. Place the black covers over each probe set to prevent light interference. Tell the participant to rest their feet on the stool and keep their knees unbent. Give the participant specific instructions on the task they will be doing. Close the drapes over the fNIRS machine, turn off the lights, and pull the drapes in front of the Dell computer to ensure that light does not interfere with the participant's probes. Once the experiment is completed, remember to take after pictures that identically match the before pictures. Remove each probe individually, being sure not to tangle them. When exporting, you can export the P1 and 2 files together, EW1, 2, and 3 files together, and finally the ES file separately. To do so, click on Operation, followed by File Manager. Then check the files that you want to export, click the Export button, and then follow the file prompts that you see on the screen in front of you. Here you will create a participant folder based on the date, month, year, participant initials, and participant number.